in a city swollen by refugees, but still mostly at peace, or at least not yet openly at war. A young man met a young woman in a classroom and did not speak to her. For many days, his name was Saeed, and her name was Nadia, and he had a beard, not a full beard, more a studiously maintained stubble, and she was always clad from the tips of her toes to the bottom of a jugular notch in a flowing black robe. Back then, people continued to enjoy the luxury of wearing more or less what they wanted to wear, clothing and hair wise, within certain bounds, of course. And so these choices meant something. It might seem odd that in cities teetering at the edge of the abyss, young people still go to class. In this case, an evening class on corporate identity and product branding. But that is the way of things. With cities as with life, for one moment, we are pottering about our errands as usual, and the next we are dying. And our internally impending ending does not put a stop to our transient beginnings and middles until the instant when it does. I have just read to you the first page or so from Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. I absolutely loved reading this book. I couldn't put it down the first time I read it. And from then, I was convinced by this author's work. I believe this author. This author has written The Reluctant Fundamentalist, which I think university English classes are reading at the moment, and also Moth Smoke, also How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia, and The Last White Man. I think I've read his entire body of work and I just love his work. And from the little that I read to you, for me, what I took away from it is that there is a point at which our lives will end. And even when the world is falling apart around us, there are still things that need to, be done. There's still things that need to happen. And so this book is set in a war-torn country. It doesn't specify which country it is. And this was my introduction into like mystical realism. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Actually, I love this book so much. I might just force my book club to read it in one of the months next year.